handbook and the discrimination harassment policy. There's a page 16 on harassment policy that we need to sign. You say that we received it, and that we're going to review it. So if you want to do that, we can hand those in tonight. Page 16 of the harassment thing. There's two in there, two clips. Two paper clips, yeah.
So we're just signing this sheet
Yes.
and then
And then just take it home and read it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to take it home and read it first and then sign, you can do that too.
Multiple ones.
Well, one's a handbook and one's a harassment. So you can both.
Okay.
And then this one's for Paul.
Okay.
I'm ready. Pass it back already.
You know the Coast Guard soon?
My son looked at the Coast Guard. I've got a brother that's a full-blood colonel in the Marines. So I grew up as an Army brat. Never served, but grew up as an Army
Yeah, Coast Guard adjacent.
brat. He just looked at going into the Coast Guard, and so, I don't know, when we happened to do it, I kept the keychain, so.
Be the whole pack or just the back
Just
page?
just page 16, yeah. All right, well, we might as well get started. I don't know, I mean, Polly might be just a little bit late, so we might as well get started. Welcome, everybody, to our meeting. We haven't met in a couple months,
Yeah.
so thanks. And I noticed on the agenda, I put 6/18. I must have been off a month. This year is going faster than I'm ready to. We haven't met since April, because May and June is probably people. So with that, I guess first we'll do the welcome, and as you can see, we have a new member, Beth, and welcome Beth to the ECC. Just a little introduction, I'm Phil George, I'm the chair of the ECC. I live up on Henderson Road in Pompey. I don't know, you want to say any introduction yourself?
Yeah, I'm Martha Viglietta, retired, and I've been on the committee since COVID. I remember my first year we didn't meet.
Oh. On a Zoom meeting, yeah.
Not even, it was before, it was kind of pre-Zoom, we did a whole year without it. What's your last name?
Aust, A-U-S-T.
I'm a retired therapist, and so that's how I do all my volunteerism since I retired is environmental.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
and I volunteer with a group called the Citizens Climate Lobby, which works for the national nonprofit advocacy group that pushes for more federal action on climate change.
That's great.
I recently joined the Syracuse NAACP, just created an environmental committee that I've never had before. So I'm not, so that's what I do as my volunteer hours as
Great.
a retired.
Stay busy.
I don't want to be too busy, you know,
Right,
I really
just-
want to be retired,
Right.
but yeah.
And Martha is like the lead reach out person for coordinating all the Earth Day vendors.
Wonderful.
A lot of time spent coordinating.
Yeah.
I do a lot for
All the
Earth
vendors.
Day
Yeah.
once
There was a
year.
lot of great vendors
Yeah.
that did come this year.
Oh, did you?
And I've been a few times.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah,
Well, we've been building it up.
Yeah.
it's great.
Adam Scalisi, been on the ECC for 3 years now. My family lives we have the Green Effects Nursery on Route 20. I'm also the men's soccer coach at SUNY ESF
Oh,
in
okay.
Syracuse. And yeah, that's
That's
about it.
awesome.
You're an ESF grad too.
Yes, I did go to ESF for undergrad and grad school.
Nice.
Hi there.
Hi.
Stan Gorman, chief cook and bottle washer at the Pompey Golf Course. I've been on the ECC, I don't know how long, quite a few years. Got involved because of my involvement in the towers. That's been my kind of bullet point, and I've been involved with that for 30+ years, so.
Wow.
Short of that, just try to stay active in town stuff, and this is a big part of it, so.
Great.
Just in time.
Hi.
I'm Craig Dennis. I got a small dairy farm down the street here on
Oh, okay.
Gulf Road. I've been on the ECC, I think 12, 15 years in that area. A lifelong resident of the town.
Just kind of giving our backgrounds to
Yeah.
that. This is that.
Hi, Beth.
I know you, do you know me?
I'm supposed to, clearly.
I know Renee.
Oh,
I
okay.
met you.
Oh, that Beth.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That Beth.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Well, then you know me and we're done.
Well, yes, I know it's Springside Farm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing thing.
Yep. So you worked with Renee?
We did Young Living together.
Young Living, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep,
Yeah, we're both nurses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're a nurse?
So
Yes,
yeah,
so I'm
right.
at Lost. I live right up on Pompey Center. My husband and I moved out here, it'll be 10 years. We were in the Oneida area, wanted to get to the country. And
Out of the
I'm
big city of
out of the big city, well, you'd be surprised. Had to move the kids out, but love being in the country. I work from home as a case manager, nurse, and I am very passionate about the environment. I don't have, my godfather was a dairy farmer, so I grew up on the farm. But I garden, I do volunteer. This year I signed up Finger Lakes Prism has a program where they have volunteers go out and hike and look for invasive species. So they give you an app on the phone, and so that's been fun because I do enjoy hiking and being in nature.
When you find invasive species, what do you do?
Snap a picture and on the app and answer some questions. And then we have to look to make sure there's no other invasive species surrounding it.
And then they send in a nuclear bomb. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
So these are plants.
Yeah, plants, some bugs. There's a couple bugs they have us look for.
That's
So
great.
it's pretty neat.
That's
Yeah,
great.
it is.
Yeah.
Citizen science.
Yeah.
Volunteer,
Yes.
it's environmentalism and it's also citizen science.
Yes.
Sending data into
Yeah.
GPS data, so.
Yeah, mark your location, and then so we always go back and check because it'll show the map where everybody is submitted, like, there we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to be here to learn and to help as I can.
Great, well, we're looking forward to having you here. Thanks, Todd. Couple things. Polly, so this is the handbook and the discrimination policy, the town employee handbook and the discrimination policy.
The don't be rude packet.
What?
The don't be rude packet.
Oh, the don't be rude packet.
Right.
Is
So-
this anything,
So what you need to do is take out page 16
sign it and get rid of
to
it?
say that you acknowledge that you received it, then you can either, or you can take it home and read it and bring it back and sign it, or you can sign it now and take it home and read it, whichever you prefer.
Wait a minute.
There's two documents
Oh,
here,
thank God.
so yeah,
Confused.
that's,
Well, I'll just sign it. I did that hour-long training thing.
yeah,
Yeah, done with it.
but yeah, this is the town's policy, so you probably wanna read this one too. Cause it's probably different than the generic one that you did the
I'm gonna
training.
waste another 40 minutes of my life.
Well, you know,
Okay, so this one's mine to take home?
yes,
You
They're
take
two
both of
different
them.
you
things.
take them
Both of
both,
them.
yeah,
Both of them.
and you
Yeah.
just sign page 16.
Is that what you need tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing I need tonight is somebody want to be the recording secretary?
Sure.
Thank you. And with that, these are the dates for the next meetings. I'm gonna pass it around because we don't have any recording secretaries for the next meeting, so if you can, want to volunteer for it. So you got tonight, volunteer for the next one.
Ooh, September 5th. I know when that is.
Our next meeting is actually August 1st, which is in 2 weeks from now. But as I said in email, as long as there's no town business, we'll probably cancel that one. And right now, there was no town business for this meeting. So if there's none for the next meeting, we'll just cancel that since it's so close to this one and just meet in September. So that'll be our next one.
Okay, so I leave this piece with you?
Yes.
water, or you go on this first?
No, no, unless, if there's town business, we will, and I'll let everybody know, otherwise, that next one will be September 5th, I think it is. Because it's 2 weeks from now, so, and there's no sense getting together if there's no town business to go over. You know, summer's a tough time, and maybe next summer, that's what we'll do, is we'll combine July and August, we can wait and see how things go, but if there's not a lot of town business, rather than trying to schedule them, cancel them, and reschedule them.
Your schedule can be flexible.
Yeah, right, we'll just do.
I like it when you do December, January too.
Yeah. Yeah. Although this, now that we've changed it to the first Thursday of the month, it doesn't impact Christmas quite as much as it did before.
Yeah, right.
And down stuff. Closer. All right, let's see. Handbooks, we did that. So the draft meeting minutes, the last meeting minutes actually were April, the ones that you did, Stan. I don't know if anybody had any comments on those. I know I already sent them to, Veronica, she posted them, so I think if nobody has comments, they're good to go. Great.
Didn't screw them up too bad.
No, it was really good as far as the detail, and especially on the Earth Day, that was good, helpful. And then, of course, we didn't have a meeting in May and June, just due to attendance, there wasn't enough people. And, you know, I've been talking to Kathy a little bit on this as far as the attendance. I mean, I know I go out of town or go on vacation a bit, so I'm gone. But we did the first Thursday because, actually, the town requested us to do the first Thursday because the planning board meets the third, I think it's the third Thursday, or the second. So they thought it would be better that we met the first Thursday, so if they had something to give to us, it gives us more time to look at it before they met.
Right.
I assume, does that still work for people, like the
Yes.
first Thursday?
Yeah,
That's still
that's
good?
fine.
Yes,
In a
please
sec-
stay off the second Thursday.
Okay, and is
Every
6,
other
7
time.
o'clock still good?
Yes.
Or is
Yes.
not 6 or 8 or any
No.
other time?
Sounds good.
I just happen to not have an event this Thursday, so.
I know,
First, second, third.
it's hard for everybody, and, like I say, I go out of town occasionally, and if I'm traveling, I can't be here, but I do try to zoom in if I'm not here, but.
I volunteer for 2 other things. That I'm treasurer of one and I'm on the board of another, and they both meet on the second Thursday.
Oh, really?
And they overlap a little bit. And then this one was at night. And then the fourth thing that I got asked to just sit in on this committee said, so we're meeting on the second Thursday. Oh, hell no. I know it was. I just yelled at them this morning because of course it was today.
Yeah, right.
They moved it to today.
Well, thanks all for coming tonight. So, let's see, training, harassment, we'll read this, I think we still have to do the annual training and harassment, but I think the handbook might give us more information on that. No longer have a vacancies, and welcome back, town Facebook page. I guess I'll talk about that a little bit. Some of the things that we've done in the past, I just made a couple quick notes. We commented on grants. Renee used to have us look into different things. We made comments on those. We look for grants, the energy efficiency things. We definitely do comments on applications, whether it's subdivisions or whatever applications. We provide those comments to the town board. We do the contest. We were thinking about doing a monthly information sharing for environmental, now that we don't have the Facebook page. I'm really struggling, trying to figure out how we can communicate with the community better.
Without loading down Veronica with constant website updates.
Right, and to be honestly, I'm not sure how many people go to the website as much as, like, say, a Facebook page or something like that. So,
Right.
just, because it'd be nice to do the contest again. I think the pumpkin carving contest was fun. I think the snowman contest was fun when we had snow.
Yeah.
So, I just don't, I'm trying to bring, if there's any ideas on how we could do that, because we can't really have something linked on a Facebook page with the town because they don't have a policy yet, so.
Right. Are they talking about a policy, do you know?
I don't know, I'll have to ask Mark that. Okay. I would think they would be, but I don't know.
Not to be a downer about it, but I don't really see an efficient way to run any of them without a platform
Right,
like
right,
that.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I don't really have a clear idea as to why they shut down Facebook page.
because it was, people were commenting on ongoing and very specific issues around town on posts that had nothing to do with it, with what they wanted to talk about.
Okay.
So it just was becoming this venting session that was a dead end to not. They weren't commenting in the right order. If you have an issue with this, that goes to the planning board, issue with that goes to the town board. People were just unloading on.
It was the wrong place to put
Right.
their comments, because they weren't gonna get addressed because it wasn't the forum to get addressed.
Right.
So,
I had also heard though that the town attorney recommended that you not have a link on our website, our town website, that we not have a link to our Facebook. That somehow exposed us somehow, exposed the town to liability somehow.
yeah, I think you're right, I don't remember the exact reason, but I think you're right, there was,
I don't really understand that.
It made it look like anything that was posted on the Facebook page
Was official
was
business.
official
yeah,
business.
yeah.
It's open the
When it
town
wasn't,
to allow
because-
liability, is my
I
understanding.
wonder if you could have it where you don't, where you shut off
It
comments.
was well put.
Right, I thought, yeah, can't.
Why can't you just shut comments?
Just
You
so-
can.
Yeah, they tried that for a while, I think, yeah.
But doing all that requires not a full-time, but sort of constant eyes on it,
Monitoring it,
Yeah.
yeah.
and we don't have that.
Yeah.
So they just said, cut it.
And it kind of, for our purposes, for the ECC, it kind of defeats the purpose, because we want people to comment. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
what, you know, because that was.
Unless they hijack it and go play on their own.
Right, but for ours, they weren't, I mean, you know, so many contests, people were voting on it, and they're providing comment, it was kind of fun, you know, so.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I'm just kind of struggling, because, you know, that was a big part of our meetings, was engagement with the, you know, coming up with ideas and engaging the community, so I'm kind of struggling at how do we do that without that.
Can we still post our contests on the town website and then
Yes,
the rest of us hustle our little butts off and put it on our own social media?
we can do that, yeah, yeah.
At this
Isn't that-
point, I
Isn't
think-
that what we did this
We did that with
Yeah.
Earth Day.
birthday?
And I'm pretty much
Yeah.
thinking that's our only avenue at this point.
It seems to be that, yeah, I can't think of anything else, yeah.
Is the town going to have a Facebook page in the future? Or is it that done?
I think that's what I think, they need a policy first, I think the town has come up with a social media policy. I don't know if they're working on that yet, I have to go back and look at town board meetings, I haven't done that. I looked at a few, but I haven't seen it come up. But
I know for other organizations, they, whether it's like town municipalities or private organizations, there will be someone who makes a social media page that will like say in the title, like unofficial announcements of the Pompey ECC. And it cuts all liability and responsibility
Yeah.
to the organization, but it's still the functional outlet of information. I don't know if Mark would be open to there being a unofficial,
Yeah.
ECC Facebook page.
I did ask that question, and I think, I think the attorney came back, I'd have to look at my emails, but I think he did ask that question, and because we're still affiliated with the town, now, it wasn't that specific, I didn't ask that specific question, but I did ask if we could have our own ECC page.
Yeah.
And I think because we're affiliated, we're a committee of the town.
If you read this, we're now employees of the town.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, apparently.
It's up to a whole bunch of rules,
Yeah.
I didn't know we had to play by.
Yeah.
Did you know you were a play?
We get paid $175 a year.
$150. I'm cheap.
All right, well,
Well, we've been told apparently that we're employees now.
so maybe what we'll do is we'll continue then is, like you say, put it on our own Facebook pages and. try to promote it with-
And maybe if we don't flood Veronica with work,
Right.
like we're not doing one every month, like it's only 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah,
We could beg, plead and cry.
That'll definitely work for like making or sharing information out, that we have one post on our website and we all try to put it on our Facebook pages. I just don't know how that would work for like our voting system, where people vote on
Right.
stuff
Yeah.
and collecting all of the likes on the images. for
Yeah.
multiple Facebook pages and not having redundant
Maybe we
voting
can't
and
do
stuff.
that then.
That's a good point, yeah, yeah, 'cause
So-
that was how we determined the winner.
Right.
Do you have like an email list where you email, like for the newsletter, or what were you saying, Brian? No.
No, no,
There's
no-
There's no email correspondence.
no.
The only way they would submit the only time email was used was to submit your entry,
Okay.
and that would go to Veronica, the website manager, and she
Oh.
would just collect them until the due date and post once with all of the, entries that came in.
Okay.
And then that Facebook post became our platform for collecting all of the likes.
Yeah,
Mm.
and the ones with the most liked won the contest.
Gotcha.
So there was no decisions to make, and we didn't have to like say, oh, this is the best one or something, it was all done by the community,
Mhm.
so, yeah. Cause it'd be nice to do the pumpkin one again, and that's,
Right.
Our next meeting in September, so we want something out probably right
August-ish.
Yeah,
So that would be my only suggestion, is if we can get a clarification on creating an unofficial page and make it, although it would be clunky in a title, just making it abundantly clear that it's simply for disseminating
yeah,
media and it's not to reflect official views of
right,
the
right.
town. or
If you
the
call it a
community.
contest page,
Yeah.
you know, if we call it the unofficial,
Yeah, the FP community contest
Contest
page or
page.
something.
you know. I know, but
It all
it's
gets-
people,
it all gets
people are
very
a pain in the butt.
complicated for
People
no
are
reason.
amenable.
Yeah, I can approach Mark and see what he thinks about that, he's on vacation this week, but I can see what he thinks about that, if we can talk it over with the attorneys, if we can have some kind of disclaimer.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, that's kind of what we do is work, with the community too, not only reviewing the applications, but it's kind of engage the community in things, so.
Yeah.
And I think we were doing pretty good for a while.
Yeah.
We were.
coming up with
Kind of
lots
had
of
Don
ideas.
do it, Don with science.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Well, at least it was a wash, rinse, repeat,
right.
right.
you know, but, and it wasn't our stuff that caused all the bruit. It
No,
was
no,
other people
Ours is pretty-
hijacking the platform.
ours is pretty benign.
Right.
Right.
I mean, really, a snowman contest, I had people in Florida laughing over that, they loved it.
So that's, there's no new business to go over.
Good.
Continuing business. I'm gonna work backwards. Community engagement, we just kind of discussed that, so I guess I did our project updates, webpage. Again, I think that's gonna kind of go with what we can figure out with this Facebook page. Seasonal contest, same thing, cell towers.
I went back and forth with Fitz, and admittedly, I dropped the ball. I got busy,
Yeah, it's,
sorry.
the suitable sites for the tier 3 solar projects, how did that ever go?
So the professor sent me, I think in the emails, wow, I'll have to dig it up again, like not a demo example, and to the extent that it was inaccurate, but he sort of ran the criteria himself, I guess, and
Oh.
produced a map.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he didn't trust the outcome of the students or, what the class was doing. But the way I read it, I thought that a more detailed one or more maps were coming. That's how I
Okay.
inferred it, but nothing else has come in.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go back and look closer at what he sent, knowing that that's probably what we're gonna get.
Okay,
So I'll
Yes.
circle back.
okay, and is it something that you could print and look at and see,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, this is a suitable site or potentially
Yes.
suitable site?
Off the top of my head, I think 3 parcels in Pompey fit all the
Okay.
criteria.
Right.
So it's a very short list to
Yeah,
sort through, but that's the point of
That was the
GIS
point.
software, is to
right,
make
narrow
all
things
those
down,
decisions
you're right,
for us.
Yeah.
So,
okay, good. Okay, that's good, yeah, because I was wondering, because our last update was April, and they were still working on
Right.
everything, so, yeah.
Do you remember some of the criteria for best sake?
oh yeah, so I'll say recent, but the past year or two, commercial solar farms being
Yes.
proposed in Pompey. Every time a company would come forward, or a resident would come forward with interest of having a solar farm on their property, it would start from square one of, is it this parcel large enough? Is it close enough to the right transmission lines? Does it have good soils? What, and the whole list would have to start over every time, based on any time a proposal was created. That obviously created a lot of stress and opinions throughout the town.
Yeah.
So what Renee, the last supervisor, suggested was she tasked us with basically mapping the town of Pompey with kind of the ideal criteria, which ended up being like a dozen different things that we decided to include, to say, are there any good sites in Pompey that checks all the boxes to be a solar farm? That's a very complicated thing to do. So I turned it over to my old GIS, which is the Geographic Information Services database. It's basically a land mapping database. And I had his class map the criteria that we listed for the town of Pompey to see if any parcels actually fit all the criteria. So they were working on it this
That's
past spring
pretty neat.
semester,
Yeah.
and we do have an initial map that ended up, I think it was 3 or 4 parcels in Pompey.
That's pretty neat.
Met
that
all the
they did,
criteria.
yeah.
So now, if a company or a resident comes forward with a request for a proposal, immediately right off the bat, are you one of these 4 sites? And if you're not, what criteria are you deficient on? And is that
Is
okay
it
with us?
correctable even?
Yeah, is that, can we do something about that?
Too close to the house, let's pull
Well,
them.
the town solar law was rewritten a few years ago because of the project on Sweet Road. We were all part of that. I was a big part of it. Helped rewrite the law. And there's a lot, I mean, it is one of the most stringent, I would say, to try to get a solar project into a community. And it was done because of our history with the towers. The towers kind of came in, did what they want, and still do to a certain extent. And the law was rewritten to make sure that the town was protected. There are a lot of criteria, and so when we're asked to review something, it's just easier. And it was some of the criteria that are in the law, and we came up with others.
And I'm sure Beth doesn't know what the problem with the towers are,
What's that?
all of them.
All of them, well, we can sit down and cup of coffee
It's a
sometime.
long
Yeah,
day.
yeah, because I would like to know more about that, so.
This is
Okay.
just a small portion of it. I don't need to go
Okay.
through a 30-year history. The simplest thing is, there's a few towers up there that I can't speak for the rest of the board, feel that they're grossly undertaxed, first of all, and they can do kind of whatever they want to do. If they want to make modifications, I mean, this went back 30 years ago. It seemed like every 20 years we have a big to-do in the town, and now it's solar.
There were questions about ownership, there was question about who's responsible for maintenance, there were questions about security up there, there were questions about,
Disassembly.
disassembly, that's it, yeah, I was trying to think of another word, but yeah. So this, and most of those are still unanswered.
When the weeds get installed, nobody's going there.
Nobody's taking care of it.
Yeah, because there's no recourse. We
They're
as a
hiding
town.
behind
So
multiple
somebody
business
owns
names.
that, that's not, oh,
And, who's actually responsible for
oh,
operating,
right.
maintaining, paying the taxes on them, all that kind of stuff.
And that's where we've been working with Fitz to try to, at least get him to come to the, Brian Fitz.
Oh,
Town assessor.
To try to get them to the table by raising their assessments to the point where maybe we get their attention. My personal pet peeve is, what are they giving off for emissions in terms of radio waves and things
Yeah.
like that? That's just, like I say, I don't wanna speak for anybody on this board, that's just one of the questions that I have. But even if you feel they're totally safe and there's no issues there, why, do they not have to, as you say, decommission? That's a big thing. That's why when we wrote the solar law, or helped write the solar law, all of the questions that we had with the towers went towards solar. I mean, because these projects are 25, 30 years long, 25 years from now, what does the town have for recourse? I mean, what do they have set up? The town has, even if we wanted to go in there and decommission one of those towers, it's not like you just go in there
Yeah.
take it down.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, and so should we be responsible?
Wouldn't be pretty.
So, I mean,
Liability?
well,
That's a
involvement.
lot, yeah, that is,
Well, we just wanted to make sure, make sure that with the solar stuff that we didn't fall.
Put ourselves back in the same
and
hole.
there's gonna be follow through and.
That, yeah, back
who's in
in,
charge.
we don't wanna repeat the errors that we are still dealing with.
So,
It's largely him, dealing with on the
well,
towers.
it's in my backyard, and,
Yep.
and, you know, it's, one of the things that, well, why did you move there if you knew it was in your backyard? Well, I didn't know that we had all these issues and
Yeah.
different things like that, and, you know, the biggest thing is long-term, and I got upset because a lot of things have been added to those towers
Huh.
without, I mean, if you.
Permitting
They
process.
don't ask
There's nothing, yeah,
anything.
because the town is not, I mean, you do
Right.
Verizon Tower, and when I got involved, there was one candle operating, now there's like 5. And there's been nothing, I got
Oh,
upset
wow.
because one of the towers that is now a cell tower, there was no permitting, nothing, they just came in. Because this company owns, that's the thing, this company owns the tower, then they lease to this company, who then leases to this company to put a cell tower antenna out there. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
so
shit,
it's,
yeah.
it's a shell game, and so it's, it's just another process when we start talking about solar.
Yeah,
Now, this was, if you, I mean, I can show you on the map, the Tower Overlay District, where exactly I live. That was 1964, they came up with that district. And, you know, so time, I mean, like I say, 30 years ago, I never thought I'd be involved like this 30 years later, but
wow,
if we have some people that are in place now that make sure that there is some forethought to what's gonna happen to this stuff when it's not usable anymore. I mean, like you say, the Quonset hut.
exactly.
Well, there's a tower there, there's like a, I don't know, like the triangle tower, it's not just a straight tower like this, it's 4 sides to it. And there's an old Quonset hut there that's all overgrown, the tower is rusted, it's not in use. It's, the fence around it is half down, half up. I mean, I could walk right in there right now, there is no barrier or any security. I mean, now if something happens there, let's say a bunch of kids go up, somebody gets hurt. Whose responsibility is it, what's going on, so, I don't know. Someday when you want to have a cup of
Valid
coffee.
Absolutely, yeah,
I
you
don't want,
can
I
tell me
don't
all
want, I
about
don't
it.
want to get this
But-
meeting.
But the point is
I
that
appreciate
can
that.
of worms affects everything we do going forward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Listen, she's a
I
nurse,
think
she can bring
I take a
it.
morning blood pressure and take a night blood pressure, so just make sure I got them both.
I want you around, is my point, don't be around.
But that was the approach to all the solar stuff.
I appreciate
was
that.
preventing all of that from repeating,
Okay.
but also streamlining the
The
interest
process.
process
Mhm.
and just to, yeah, again,
Well,
not
make it fair to the
Simplify.
applicants as well.
right,
You have
save
to-
everybody time on both ends.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah, everybody knows
That
what
makes
the
sense,
criteria is up front, so
right,
you gotta meet it, and this is what the expectations are.
And it was something that they took the initiative to, well, rather than, you know, okay, I've got a plan, I'm gonna submit an application, I'm gonna submit a.
Have 30 applicants.
Right, have 30 applications, let's just say, look, these are good spots. That was our
right,
goal, I mean,
so
to
were
say.
those spots owned by,
we don't know, we haven't done
That's-
that. He knows.
I looked at it
Oh.
months ago,
gotcha.
and I thought it was a temporary map, but I
He
think that's all
used to
we're
know.
getting. So, it's not with me, so. I have to go dig
right?
it
He will
out.
know
Yeah,
again.
and it only gets worse.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I will bring it to the next meeting.
that's
He will know again, and then we will know.
By the town, or if it was
No,
privately owned
They were all,
land?
they were all
Open it,
privately owned.
Okay.
Well, we put in the parameters and we didn't know what we were gonna
We
get.
actually had too many parameters in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, we didn't know whether we were gonna get 1 site or 100 sites.
Yeah.
And like we came up with all these parameters and yeah, I mean, there were too many,
Yeah,
so
we had
that
to cut them
nothing,
down.
we had no hits. And so, if you eliminate maybe some of the major restrictions or this, that, these are the things that, you know, if you already have these, then these sites are good. If you don't, then.
If nothing else, it will streamline the process going forward. And you can say no with reasons already written down.
Yeah.
You know, no, this is why that doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah,
Or, that really could maybe. And
Well, it was even a thought of, I mean, cause like the town dump, why don't we put one there? What are the limitations there? Where it's not gonna bother somebody,
Yeah,
it's out of sight,
brown
out of,
zones and-
Right.
out of sight, out
Yeah.
of mind, so.
Yeah.
And that was my big thing, I mean, if we're gonna do one of these, why wouldn't the town wanna benefit?
Right.
I mean, like the towers, I mean, these.
we're not getting
so-
enough.
Well, the cell corporations and all of this, I mean, their bottom line, I mean, when you talk about T-Mobile or any of the cell companies, I mean, the amount of money that they're making.
Yeah.
And if we had owned that land from the start and at least to them, if we're gonna do a solar project, why wouldn't the town wanna benefit from it?
That makes sense, yeah.
That's all.
alright, well, good for the, well, that kind of did cell towers and the solar together, so.
Yep.
No, it's good.
Get me started,
No,
watch
it's
out,
great.
line me up.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
line me
that's
up,
great.
good update on both of those.
I think
Works out good.
background information, when I first came, we didn't do something like this, and
Yeah,
I've been flailing my way through the process, and I
Right,
think I have a better grip on it now, but, I don't wanna do it to her.
right.
I
No,
appreciate
that's-
that. Thank
that's-
you.
That's right, it's
Thank
good to
you.
have that background.
It's good to have a review.
Yeah. So the next review then is
Okay.
Earth Day for Martha.
Our
So
say.
is, between Stan's notes from the before Earth Day, he had a lot of good notes, and then, I think Kathy sent some notes, I can't remember, I think Kathy sent some notes, Teresa definitely sent some notes, you sent some notes.
We do a lot of communicating by mass email.
Yeah,
Text.
so I think there's a lot
Texts.
we can learn from this Earth Day and again, improve more for next year, so I don't know if you wanna go through anything.
I'll just go through the notes that I made. I might have sent them around a couple months ago, but we'll just go through quick. It was a grand success. And I did have a question about the handouts. We gave handouts describing the trees and planting instructions. Is that something that you came up with?
Oh, heck no, I don't know where that came from.
Well,
I know
I
I've
sent them to Nikki and she printed them off.
Yeah, I know we've reviewed it in
Yeah.
the past, it's the standard basics, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's planting instructions for the.
Yeah, that
tree
was
lines.
great,
Right.
because pre-COVID, I think, I came to an Earth Day and I got seedlings that they planted.
Yeah.
And I loved the instructions, that's a great idea.
yeah, okay, good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think a few people like them.
They survived?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Well, except, one that I
Mom
might have
already
mowed.
said.
Can't confirm or deny.
Can't confirm or
Yeah.
deny, I don't know, I think it was.
It's just a
husband
big
who said it was
graphic.
me.
Deer
That's right.
Deer ate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a John Deere.
There you go. That was great.
That was good.
I sent a thank you note to Robin Wall Kimmerer for buying the trees for us.
Yep.
The raffle that we ran, it was new this year, it was a great addition. Everybody loved it.
Yes,
I think it was really good, yeah.
we should do that again.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I think that was a great idea, yeah.
We had a bluebird house that Hudson made. Stan donated, 4-person pass to the Puppy Club. Holly donated family pass to Spencer Farm. And Adam donated a subscription for a month of bouquets from his nursery. Everybody loved them. I think there was pretty equal division of people putting their.
In all
Every
generations.
family gets
Yeah.
one free.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I counted, the range was 14 to 18 votes per,
Very.
Yeah, it was quite a
so
few.
almost
surprising.
70
Yeah.
Equally
submissions.
Yeah,
Equally positive, that's great. Traffic was better this year.
yeah, the only thing I would say on the traffic, I think next year when we come early, we'll try to keep that center parking lot open because there was so many cars there. Like right where we park out there, the whole,
Out here?
yeah. Yeah, you come in, we park along the edges, but then people parked in the middle.
Yeah, you lost control of the parking lot.
Yeah, because that was a little confusing for people, like, to drive in, where to go and stuff, because there were so many cars
It's the
in
same
it.
problem as last year. and-
It's an awkward parking lot, it's too damn fat.
It's too
People
fast.
start parking in the middle because there's not enough edge.
Yeah.
There's no lines, there's no,
Yeah,
people are, if you put lines down, I guarantee you they'll line up right.
Yeah.
right, or maybe we do cones or something, or have like an, I don't know, we can look, well, let's think
Well,
about
the
that
highway
for next year.
department told me this year that they'd put cones up and that they'd have somebody out there
Yeah,
helping people parking, and that didn't happen.
cause I remember we told a few people to move their cars, we had them move around the back, yeah.
Mhm.
That was, cause it
Maybe
was
we need
just,
some parking signs.
or the cones if we
Yeah,
can get them.
even if they're just a stack of cones they leave out.
Right, we
cut
can do
out
them,
in the
yeah,
morning.
just cause that middle part, people came in, they weren't, it was a little confusing, cause people, I know we wanted to have just a one-way thing, but it
Right.
didn't work out one way, people were coming in both entrances. And then, the people that came from here, there was people walking from the side parking, and then there was people parking in the middle and
Yeah.
getting their trees, it was a little confusing.
Between the cones and if we use our cars here early to like start.
Starter
one
cars,
each row,
starter
Yeah.
cars.
then everyone will fall.
Kind of follow in place, yeah.
So
we
if
can
we
even
took
tell
that
people.
parking lot, and say this is the hedgerow over
Yeah.
that way. And we had some people line up there, and then we had some other people put cones here, line up right here, and let this be the drive-through. They can go in here and park,
Mm-hmm.
but we need starter cars to start that line.
Right.
Because we don't do employee parking in Springfield because all the employees know that they are the starter cars.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So the next year, well, that's just something that we'll
Yeah.
keep in our planning for next year a little bit.
Yeah.
To enhance that.
Okay. Advertising and signage, we put more advertising around this year, which we never had before. We got lawn signs, and there was a dozen of them around town. Did you see any?
They were like
Lawn-
the campaign size.
You had one at the corner?
Mhm.
Yes, I saw that one.
Okay. Anybody else see them around town? I don't.
I saw it
up
up
on
on
the
the
north
mall,
end,
but
so-
then again, everything's at the Pond Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember anymore.
I saw one in the village green park.
Oh, yeah.
That one,
The
that's
center.
another good place to put it, really, honestly.
Well, we talked about, asking the town council for another $250 so that we can double the number of lawn signs.
Okay.
Which, I think is a good idea.
Mhm.
So we'll do that this winter.
Yeah.
I also thought we should make a few more signs for Earth Day itself, like on the raffle table, a bigger sign, we really have a sign on the tree table.
Yeah.
Free seedlings, one bundle per household, just a bigger sign, maybe a sign over this door that says.
Vendors inside or something.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea, cause I'm not sure people that were out there knew to even come in here.
Yeah, people were
Yeah.
sort of looking at this area sort of questioningly, sometimes they come in, sometimes they wander
Right.
out.
So yes, I agree, more signs like to come in here, and even like for the raffles too, cause that was a little, cause that was kind of a
Yeah.
last minute thing we
Yeah.
were doing, so, but I think a better sign for that, cause, yeah, we could even, not to make this too complicated, but every place has like, you give them a little map when you get there, like at the state fair, it tells you where things
Yeah.
are. You could have a little printout that just says where the vendors are and what you do at each one or something, just, we could have Nikki print 100 copies of, they walk in and say, here's the vendors, for 10 vendors, maybe it's not really needed, but you don't want people to miss something.
I think her idea about signage though will accomplish
Oh,
as
yes.
much as wasting all that paper
Yeah,
for something
probably,
they're
yeah,
probably gonna trash.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, they definitely will trash it, yeah.
What you need is a Walmart reader
Yeah,
at the door when they come in,
Great.
yeah,
tell them
yeah,
what's going on.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's, yeah.
and,
But we'll put more signs up.
yeah, put more
yeah,
signs,
more
I think more
signs.
signs,
People
yeah.
don't read though.
And for the tables, whether it's the raffle or the trees, seedlings, it might be easier to get tablecloths printed that hang down and say something
Mhm.
versus posters that then either need tape or string or, a backer. Make sure, just use the table itself to put the tablecloth on that
Yeah.
has.
And then we have to get more budget then.
Did we ever find the ECC sign, the big Environmental Conservation Commission?
Somebody found it, I can't decide how we would use it though.
Yeah,
We've already got a flag up there.
And it doesn't give any information, right?
no, it doesn't, it
says
just kind of just
Earth Day.
says it's Environmental Conservation Commission, yeah.
And we have an Earth Day,
There's a sign left over for.
I think, I don't know, but we had it for, I remember the first time we did the trees, we had it outside, it was just, cause we had it on the table with the trees, I think. Cause, in those first couple of years, that's all we really had was not so much the trees and maybe one other thing. I was just curious if we ever found it, so,
we found it, I just couldn't think of what we would,
yeah.
what it would add,
Okay.
where we would put it.
Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. just trying to get oriented again. Also on the raffle tickets, it said, put down which one you want, and at the bottom it said, what would you like the ECC to concentrate on? And I heard a lot of people say, what's the ECC? So I thought we could have a sign at Earth Day, maybe sitting on an easel that says, we're the ECC, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I have an easel,
You have an easel?
I have several, but I have a very nice one.
Wait a second,
Oh, good.
yours is probably nice.
It's a schmancy fancy one, yep, it is.
I got one that's kind of like cast iron.
That's what it is. It's all such a pretty little scroll.
And it's
It's a
portable.
wedding set.
Well, that's not that.
With words.
No, ours isn't bad.
Oh,
No, mine's portable. It's small, it's very lightweight.
Okay, so you should have an iron one. We're sort of tied now as to who's gonna.
I don't care.
Which we're gonna use.
Oh, trust me, you want his, take it. I'm fine. I'm just trying to be nice. I can go back to
Let's just
being
let's get
nasty.
a new sign.
Well, we got about 6 months to decide.
Yeah.
While you mentioned the feedback, I jotted down when people did write something, there wasn't much, but some people
Alright.
did write things.
Oh, we did.
2 people asked for more family contests or community contests.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, dang.
Yeah,
Cool.
someone wrote more native plants, not sure what that means. Someone asked how to eradicate poison parsnip.
Good luck on that one.
Yeah. Requesting a cleanup group at the Pompey Hill Cemetery. And someone wrote food drives more frequently. And
How do we do that?
I don't know.
We're
if
not
it was-
responsible for
we're
that.
asking the town in general or something. But then 3 just comments that just said, you're doing great, Earth Day was excellent, and appreciate being able to drop off tires.
Oh, okay, good.
that's great.
There's a lot of really appreciation for getting rid of stuff.
Yeah.
2 dump truck loads at them or 3?
At least 2.
Yeah,
Might have gotten
yeah.
third.
I dropped
Teresa sent some information.
700 tires, 217 units of paper shredding. I don't know what a unit is. 5,000 pounds of electronics.
Oh man, he's gonna get some for me next year.
5,000 pounds of electronics, and that wasn't even all because they forgot 4 pallets. They were not counting 48.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Signs,
awesome.
we retrieved all the signs, except for 1 or 2. We'll have to reorder some next year to replace. I do agree that we should, this is from Teresa, Teresa is Highway Department Assistant. Highway Superintendent is B.R. Way, and Teresa Osborne is the Highway Clerk. So really, when you deal with the Highway Department, you're often dealing with Teresa. It was great.
Yes.
We also had a food truck lined up for the Earth Day, but we had a hard time getting one.
I have a comment on that.
Okay.
I was watching people coming and going because I'm handing out. They're not here long enough for a food truck. I think it should be a coffee and donut thing.
Yeah.
Coffee and cookies.
We had a food truck the year before.
Yeah, and she didn't do so great. That's why she's not back. She found someplace else that she could make
No.
more money.
Well, did you talk to her?
I think that's what she said, wasn't it?
No, she said that she had injured herself and she wasn't doing her food truck at that point.
Okay.
And when I talked to her when she left that day, she said she did pretty well and she would love to come back.
But she didn't.
Why don't you have some
She
organization
injured
come
herself.
in, they can do a lemonade stand.
Right, well, I think that would
Coffee.
be great, like after the prime committee or something like that, that needs to make money.
Fundraiser.
A fundraiser, you know, they can keep the money, it's just more of having somebody to have,
Service.
Yeah,
like you say,
like
lemonade,
you take care of
coffee,
it.
some donuts.
Yeah. They're not here long. People aren't here for lunch though.
Or even a late breakfast.
Or,
I would
but,
from a food truck, but I
Well,
would
I-
still eat coffee
yeah,
and donuts too.
but the thing is, we were out of trees by noon. What time,
Yeah.
this thing doesn't last long enough.
Right, there's
To
not a
hit
lot, they're
lunch.
just doing a,
They're out the door as soon as they've had breakfast, drop off their tires, ditch the electronics, shred the stuff, grab the trees, get the hell out.
Well, no, some people
people
stay,
like
People stay in here,
and
Yeah.
make those
and
service.
they do,
Yeah,
but we stop at noon.
yeah, I'm not saying the food, I
Yeah.
agree
Yeah,
with the
oh,
coffee,
right.
but I think
so, right.
I think
Yeah.
having a volunteer organization would be ideal. The
I
hard
think
part
that's great.
is getting a volunteer organization because I've contacted the school a number of times and for some reason I can't get
I
anybody
can
to,
get through to the school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know 2 people on the board, my kids go there,
okay,
I can get in.
yeah,
And my daughter's a Girl Scout, if we want, the Girl Scouts.
The Girl Scouts can do it.
They're all trying to get their gold award this year too, and I'm doing 2 things with them, and one of them is like an environmental eco advocate, so maybe we can, we can get the Girl Scouts to do something
Yes.
with Earth Day.
we tried to get the Boy Scouts to do it, that's.
No,
They're hard to get in touch with.
They're hard.
Although
I got
Don came with a couple Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
and
Don did, yeah, he did, well, I got him only because he was fixing the skid steer.
But he kind of said to me he was disappointed that he didn't hear from me, but I contacted him and,
Yeah, that's.
you know,
not-
so,
Don, come on. But I
There might
really
be a
think
black hole in
if
the
we
sky.
could get a group
that's right.
that needed to do fundraising and just did coffee, tea, lemonade, that kind of thing,
Yeah,
cookies, and
And that could be the prom committee too, I mean, I can ask,
right, the
Right.
band's always looking to take their trips, the
Yep.
proms, the baseball guys always, I don't know if they still go to Myrtle Beach, you know, there's all these. they're all- Geez, when my kids went there, we had this fundraiser nonstop.
oh, I know, it's exhausting.
We have more cookie dough and wrapping paper,
Yeah,
probably still got
yes.
cookie dough in the freezer.
I still got candy
Yes.
bars in mine, and they're out of college.
Hey,
Yeah, right, right.
I gave up and let him have a rummage sale at my place this year. So,
Yeah, so that would be great, yeah.
Yeah.
You put that one
yeah,
in there.
so, yeah, and
some
then,
community group, we really need to
Something,
work
some-
out,
yeah,
telling them that we need them to do this for us.
Yeah.
And because that's really the nature, I mean, yes, they do come in here and they talk to all the people here, and then it's noon and it's over with and everybody's ready to go home.
But
right,
people like coffee, donuts.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they'll buy that,
Bagel.
Yeah.
they'll buy that, but
Grilled
it's snacky
cheese,
stuff,
grilled cheese sandwich.
it's more snacky.
Cookies.
Right. right,
It's probably good to let them know early, because I think some of the problem I had is I contacted people like in February or March, and then by then they've already got their plans and, you know, and stuff, so.
Let's talk to
if-
them now
If you're
about it.
involved in them, you know, well, yeah, maybe not before school starts, but when,
well, right,
you
when
know,
school starts,
once
right,
school,
yeah,
because that's when they start their, you know, after the prom committees, all
Mhm.
those things start getting speed and, you know, it would just be another way then, for them to make some money. I mean, really, that's what it's about, for them to make money so they can do their activities.
right, so then just see if they want to get snacks and drinks or whatnot and sell them.
Right, right,
Okay.
right, and it seems like, I mean, even if they don't sell them all, like, cause I used to work at the, food stand for the soccer and all that stuff, so what they didn't sell, they would just put back in inventory and sell it next week, so, you know, maybe one of those, I don't know if they still do, they still do have that little stand down the school where they sell food
They
and
built a
such?
big one at the varsity field.
Yeah, 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 cause I remember working there a few times, so, anyhow, so it's,
Yep, I'll get either theater band or, so I know people, so I'll
yeah,
find
yeah,
somebody.
perfect.
Okay.
Great, thank you, wonderful.
We don't have the date yet, right? I'll just look it up.
We do.
first.
We do.
Okay.
Earth Day, because this year we had a conflict, we stayed away from Manlius Earth Day, which is a huge event and pulls our crowd. And we successfully avoided that this year, but we did not successfully avoid Davis Pompey's spring break. So we
Oh,
figured,
that's what was
we
the,
figured there were a lot of people out of town.
there was, yeah, you're right. It
So
was
I
spring
looked
break.
at the school schedule for next year.
Mhm.
Spring break is the week of April 14th, so we could have our event Saturday, April 26th.
April 20th, that's the week of my birthday.
Great,
I love the break, it's the week of my birthday.
that's great.
April 26th though will be the Earth
Yeah.
Day celebration, okay, perfect.
EVs, we had EVs out there, the two people who brought them, Tony and I brought ours too, but we didn't stand out there to answer questions, so. But the two residents who did stand out there said that they had had some traffic and it seemed like a worthwhile event for them.
And they had to move around a lot. I feel if they were able to stay put, because they went back for a while.
They were
pulled
like way
in
down,
front.
and nobody knew where they
Right.
were, yeah,
So if we can cone off
And we brought 'em up.
cones,
we brought them up to the front, yeah.
yeah,
That makes
Place
sense.
was blatant.
right.
Put them right in front of the
And again,
steers here.
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know. if
Yeah,
people-
this nice.
The
Yeah.
buffalo
And I don't know if
and the-
people knew that they could go
Oxen,
visit the
oxen,
cars,
oxen,
maybe a sign
oxen.
for that too.
Yeah, another easel.
Yeah, oh, right, right.
Okay, now we're going for
We
it.
have all these things, but I'm not sure if people knew that all
What
these things existed,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cause I mean, just people sitting by cars, you wouldn't know that they're EVs, you could look at it if you had any questions or
Right.
something like that.
You know what they need? It's like the car dealership thing where they open the hood and put the big poster in the
Yeah.
hood, come up and look at it.
Yeah. Mhm.
We have plenty of tables, thanks, Dan.
Golf course.
And, we already touched on the food truck, we already touched on maybe getting scouts to do something for us. Oh, the last thing is kid-friendly stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We were hoping to get more kid-friendly stuff. Baby lamb is always the biggest hit of all.
I never wanna bring them, but I get stuck with them anyway.
The stormwater display is
Those are good.
popular with the kids.
Well, it is nice with the kids because, you know, it's amazing those kids like that stormwater thing, you know, it
Yeah.
got something to do, and again, of course, the lamb. So, and a lot of people brought their kids, you know,
Yeah.
you know, 2, 3 kids, mothers.
That was
fathers,
really
whatever.
nice to see.
Yeah,
A lot of
right,
families.
right, and so then the little kids got their trees, you know, or whatever, so, yeah, if we could do a couple more things.
Well, I reached out to a guy I know who's a beekeeper and asked him if he knew anybody with one of those glass wall
Yeah,
Glass hives.
hives, and he said he did. And then I forgot to follow up with him, but today when I was preparing my notes, I texted him again, so
Yeah.
circle back around.
Find
trying to
somebody
be-
with a glass
If
hive.
you can't find it, let me know,
You know a guy?
Yeah, well, I'm a beekeeper too. I
Alright.
don't have one of those glass
Oh.
things though.
Oh, all right.
Have you seen the new movie Beekeeper?
No, that's a violent thing, isn't it? Yeah,
Oh.
I don't like violence. Not into that.
It's not good.
If you listen to you say you're a beekeeper, I'm kinda going like.
Yeah. Somebody recommended it to me and I looked it up and it's not about bees.
No, no,
Yeah.
it's not about violence, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. But yes, I think I know somebody that might have one.
It's not.
Yeah, so,
He does keep bees.
yeah, but yeah, if we can think of any other
Yeah.
kid activities, I mean, I don't know what they would be, but
Mhm.
you know, it's definitely hands-on, you know, you could look at the bees, that would be great, cause that's fascinating.
Yeah.
The lamb is good, cause they can touch the lamb.
Yeah.
The stormwater thing, cause they can watch water flow, I mean, what's better than kids in water, right?
Right.
So, if we can think of anything else,
Yeah.
kind of environmental related, that kids would like, that would be good.
Yeah, right, exactly. I think that's all. That's all.
I think, yeah, there was a lot of good feedback this year, and I think, well, normally we start planning really in December, like November, December, start thinking about it to get things in place, cause it takes a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, normally we have to order the trees used to have to order them by January, but we try to get them in early too, so we do start talking about it.
And that'll be easy. As long as we stick with something common.
Yeah.
The common species and the savings to us this year was because we only did one species.
Yeah.
Instead
That
of
was
two.
fine.
I think that was fine.
Yeah, I think that was fine, yeah.
People have a huge preference to need a choice.
Right,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, and those trees were great looking trees.
I think it's a commercial nursery. They do a good job.
Yeah.
And they're New York, so.
Yeah.
And I get cheap shipping because Julie goes out and picks up hers. Can you get 2 more boxes?
Okay, that's it for me.
Kid friendly, just throw this out there, I remember as a kid growing up, and don't ask me how to do it now, but I'm sure we could look it up, doing some origami.
Oh,
Where you fold up, make birds, we used to make birds and different things like that,
right,
I don't know.
yeah, no, that's a good idea. You know, if for whatever reason kids love face painting too, maybe we can get one of these groups to do some
Oh,
face
yeah.
painting. Maybe the scouts would do that, the
Yeah,
Girl Scouts would do
Yeah,
that.
they've done it before.
You know, again, I don't know why kids like that, they like to have their faces
Yeah.
painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Just fun stuff.
Right, right. You know, and then
All the
maybe,
parents can schmooze with each other.
and maybe we can have some balloons or something then, you know.
That is not environmentally good.
Oh, that's
We
true.
cannot do that.
Biodegradable. Biodegradable.
No.
Thank you, Pauline.
You're welcome. We have all suffered the consequences.
No plastic straws, no plastic straws. All right, yeah, that's good, I like that.
Honestly,
We're
you're
gonna
the
have
chairman.
to ask them to roll the cannon out of the lobby to make room for everything.
Yeah,
And
That's the most
the,
weird.
the metal detector, is it ever used?
No, I don't think it's that.
Fortnite.
On
Oh,
Fortnite
is it
gets
Fortnite?
used? Oh, so that's
does
why
it
it
actually
stays
turn
there.
on and off?
I
Is that
think
how it
so,
works?
yeah.
You have to go through it on Fortnite.
The sheriff one.
Sheriff scans are cited on Fortnite.
Oh, really?
That's how you get in here.
And it's a cannon ever used.
No.
It was.
We have been so tempted.
Yeah, I think there's a sign on it.
They said these are the golf course for my shotgun style sport.
I love the cannon.
Put apples in it and shoot apples in
They're
it.
pretty
It
brown.
was fired once, I guess, on the 200th anniversary of the
It
tower.
was
or something.
fired.
Yeah, I think there's a sign on it that says that, yeah.
Dear Lord.
But it really is.
All right, well, thank you.
It's not a big lobby.
Like, why is it there?
A third of it is a.
Why couldn't it be outside?
It was
Should
a
be a-
gift.
They got the oxen outside, they were a gift.
It's probably rock.
Oxen belong outside.
So do
Long
cannons!
outside.
Who's shooting that off in the house?
All right, we should regress a little bit.
I guess so.
Next, go back to work.
But I think that's a great idea, cause like if we found older kids to do like the origami and face painting, that kinda, then you're getting older kids and younger kids.
Yes,
Giving
right,
something for the team.
Yep.
to be older.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I do
And
like the
maybe it
face
could be
painting idea.
part of a
Yeah.
badge or something,
Yeah, I will look into it.
you know, maybe some,
Yeah.
some kind
I've
of,
helped 3 Girl Scout troops through their tree badges
some kind
this year.
of community
Yeah.
service or.
Yeah,
whatever.
now the word is out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I won't say anything.
Well, somebody already has, so. And
That's what Facebook is for, right?
I have no idea, but I think they've got an undercurrent where they swap names. Here, this is a sucker who'll help us with a tree badge.
If we did stuff like origami and face painting, which sounds so fun for the kids, it's not something we could charge for. We try and make
Oh, yeah,
everything as
yeah.
free as.
Right.
So
Who buys the face paint?
The food thing would be a fundraiser, they could,
They would buy and then sell and they would
they
keep.
could earn money
They
for
can
that,
put
Yeah.
a donation
But
out for
not
the
the-
face paint,
but not the origami.
because face paint, somebody's gotta buy the face paint.
Yeah, well, I could. Not too bad.
Don't do that.
Well, my kids,
It's a trend.
it's a
Yeah,
trend.
I mean,
If you start paying for this, that, and the other thing, it
Yeah,
becomes a
but
trend.
you know what, my daughter will reuse it and, yeah.
Okay. She said it, it's on record, it's
We just-
recorded.
We all donate stuff to make the
Yeah.
event happen,
Right.
but we
Yeah.
also try to hold each other accountable to not just be like,
Gotcha,
yeah, we'll just all pay for it. So,
yeah, my daughter.
there's a fine line that we try to all
yeah,
hold
I
each
mean,
other.
we've done the gift cards for the contest, and we've done the trees, we've
Yeah.
all paid for the trees, so.
Right.
Well, I don't have
Yeah.
anything to donate, like, for a raffle, that would be fun, so I could do the, I can get the,
Fair.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
face painting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good, thanks, Martha. The only thing I wanna circle back a second, just, I know it's 8 o'clock, but, the contest, how about like we do the, I'm still like to do the contest, and I'm not sure if we're gonna have anything decided on the Facebook yet, I'll talk to Mark.
Mhm.
But how about we do it like we said, we put on the town webpage for the pumpkin start. We'll think that's our first one. Then put it on our individual pages and share it or whatever. And then we just vote, you know, like, so they all post it, and, you know, and then in our October meeting, maybe we have it, we do it in September, and in our October meeting, or vice versa, we do it in November,
Yeah.
whatever.
Do it in November,
And
because
then-
they
and
won't
then-
garden
And
before
then we just
Halloween.
look at them ourselves, all the pictures, you know, and we, you know, the 9 of us vote, I mean, we can do that.
To give,
I mean, it's not totally objective, because, it's not the whole community doing it, but still,
right, when we do, like, for the Athletics Hall of Fame at ESF, when we're voting on candidates, athletes to be put in, each person on the board gets their list, and they score everybody, like if there's 10 candidates,
Oh, yeah.
the first person gets 10 points, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, all the way down to 1, and everyone scores them on their own, and then we total up, all right, for the first candidate, I gave them a 10, you gave them a 2, you gave them a 4,
Oh.
and that gives them a certain number of points,
Mhm.
and it just sort of takes out that, like, well, does everyone like this one?
right,
Yeah.
right.
That's
That's a
good,
good
yeah.
idea, yeah.
Yeah,
So
So-
even if we all just ranked them,
Right,
Yep,
You rank them,
That's
you're right,
fine,
and you
I
can
go
rank
with
them
that.
however you want, you know, bigness, color, you know.
whatever catches
Does that-
you, for whatever reason.
And then you just rank, if we got 30 things or 10 things, you rank them 1 to 30. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And whatever, yeah, that's a good idea. So I think we should still plan for that, so maybe, you probably had the poster
Yeah.
from last time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we could refresh that and then, we probably don't need to do it before our September meeting, but maybe have it at our September meeting, and then we
For
can,
sure.
right, then we can, post it after our September
Mhm.
meeting, and then decide, when to run it and all that
We'll
stuff.
center it around Halloween. 'Cause that's when
Right,
everyone's
right, exactly, yes.
hard to get
So,
ready.
so if we have it drafted at our September meeting, by the time we get it out and post it on all our Facebook pages and stuff, we, middle of September, give them a month to do it or whatever, and
And choose a winner in November.
and choose a winner the
Okay.
first week in November, or November meeting, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice, especially since you've got a couple comments, even though it's only two, about the, contest, so, something I think people did like.
If two or three people wrote it down, that means proportionally that much of the town, is interested in
Yeah.
participating, so.
Yeah, and we know from the previous ones that we did get a lot of comments on Facebook, and a lot of people participated, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing to continue.
And like Polly said, I think we were just on the edge of having it become
Something.
something that people
Yeah.
know
It
about.
was so
Right,
close.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
So
So
close.
I think people are looking for them now.
Yeah.
They're not there.
yeah, so if we do that, and,
We can get, Teresa has a big Facebook presence because she's also a realtor.
Right.
yeah,
And, and maybe other people like Nikki and maybe members of the board would also be willing.
Absolutely.
Right, that's a good idea, yeah.
Facebook.
Put it on the farm Facebook page, it gets hit.
Yeah.
Especially in October, because they're signing up for the Santa expedition. So they,
yeah, right,
that will
right,
hit them
that's a
then.
good idea, yeah.
Because we release that the first week of October, and that would get some coverage, they're
Yeah.
gonna be there anyway.
Yeah, good, yeah, that's good, so, yeah, we'll put that in for September's meeting to finalize the details on that.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, I think that's all that I did on my list. Anybody have anything they wanna bring up or discuss, or?
I want to talk about the towers.
I'm going home.
I'm leaving, I'm out of here.
Let's go.
I can't sleep like you're
Let's
Where's
go.
the coffee?
All right, thank you. The
I
next
should go up to
meeting,
the Poppy Club, I got my blood pressure medicine, coffee. If it goes south, we got alcohol and food.